Welcome back to Celebrity Corner. When it comes to headlines in Hollywood, the biggest stars often find themselves in big legal trouble. And here to deconstruct some of the most recent celebrity lawsuits are attorneys and authors of the book, How to Talk to Your Lawyer, Elora Nanos and Michelle Saleo. They also starred in Staten Island Law on Oprah Winfrey's network OWN. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Hi. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Well, I'm so excited that we have our legal eagles to kind of, explain in real people terms, that's what I like to call it, what's going on with some of these celebrities. I mean, let's first start with Rihanna, okay? So Rihanna is suing her accountant for bad financial advice that almost left her bankrupt in 2009, which for me is kind of hard to imagine. Rihanna bankrupt? I mean, she's worth now a reported $43 million.
But from what I learned from the TLC bankruptcy, they make very little percentage per dollar that they earn. So it's quite possible that she could wind up being bankrupt. Also, this happened to Toni Braxton not once but twice.
I mean, Donald Trump went bankrupt too.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not, bankruptcy doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have any money. Being a celebrity doesn't necessarily mean that you do have money.
Right. And there's a lot of people taking pieces of the pie, right?
Absolutely.
And also when this is like a big machine. It's just not Rihanna going to work every day and then bringing home her paycheck and putting it in her savings account. Like, this is a machine of finances.
Of people and agencies and everybody doing things for her. So it does make sense to me that she would have an accountant. I'm sure she has a team of people that are doing financial planning for her. So the allegation here is that that the accountant gave her bad advice because when she went to the accountant and she said, "Can I afford to buy this house?" that apparently he told her, "Yes, you can," and in reality, no, she could not.
So do you think that she has a good case? I mean, I know you don't have all the details, but is the accountant, legally responsible for giving her all the right answers to things?
I feel like if the facts are, I asked an expert for advice, he gave me advice, the advice was terrible, then
he's absolutely on the hook.
Then he's absolutely on the hook, right?
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that kind of makes me a little bit concerned about this. Rihanna has a history of taking no responsibility for anything. Okay, I don't believe her. I think she's a spoiled brat.
But how do you really feel? But how do you really feel about Rihanna?
Yeah, I'm gonna say. So
the audience agrees with you.
So this is what I don't like about the case. She is suing him not only for giving her bad advice about whether or not to buy this house, but she's also suing him because apparently the accountant was supposed to know that this particular house had mold in it.
Right.
Does that sound like an accountant's job?
No.
When you buy a house, you ask your accountant if the house is a good house. That's a stupid thing to do.
You mean the accountant? You mean the accountant didn't go in with some kind of a mold inspection system and scope it out for her?
And I think that there's a lot that really turns on what it is that she asked this accountant and what it is that he said. Because just saying, well, he said I could afford it, that's not enough. I want to know, did she go to him and say, I can afford this house, right? Like, and he was like,
did she pull his pants down?
Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what she asked.
I think asking an accountant, like, do I have enough money? And him being like, I mean,
you have to look into it yourself. You have to look into it yourself. Okay, ladies, I want to move on to Howie Mandel, okay? Howie Mandel is the executive producer of a prank show called Deal With It. And a restaurant in LA is suing him suing him for over $100,000 worth of damage because during a prank at this restaurant, he allegedly hired an actress who broke dishes, ruined furniture, destroyed a Yamaha piano, cracked Moroccan tile. What are your thoughts about this?
I'm so sure that there's $100,000 worth of damages in this Mexican, Indian, Moroccan tile restaurant. This is like
the piano is kind of expensive.
Yeah, $100,000.
I'm sure what happened was they were like, "There's a chip in the Yamaha piano. Don't worry about it. Howie Mandel's coming in with his show. I'll take care of it today."
Well, I have to ask you.
Stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Ladies, I want to ask you this: do celebrities have an upper hand when it comes to lawsuits that they're in, or does being a celebrity work against them compared to a Joe Schmo? What are your thoughts?
I think it goes either way.
I think it depends. I mean, like if you would have asked OJ in the early '90s, his answer would have been different. If you ask him today, ask Phil Spector. He's behind bars. You know what I mean? Like, it depends.
In this situation, I think that when it comes to civil suits, celebrities are way bigger targets than the average person. Jerry Seinfeld got sued for things that regular people don't get sued for. In this situation, it makes no sense that Howie Mandel's even being sued because when a television show is filming, both the production company and the restaurant should have insurance.
Right.
So it makes zero sense that there even would be a lawsuit.
But he's a celebrity, so they think
jackpot.
Everybody's
rich.
So, so real quick, that brings me to our last story, Chris Brown. Okay, we can't have a legal segment without discussing Chris Brown. Come on now.
Right.
Okay, now he's being sued for allegedly attacking an opponent during a basketball game at a gym in California, but his lawyer claims that Brown is being extorted by the alleged victim. So this kind of makes me think of what you said, sometimes celebrities are targets.
I could imagine that. What I think is interesting, because this is actually the second lawsuit against Chris Brown by someone who is saying that he was a victim of an assault. And what I think is interesting is that normally, if you're going to sue someone civilly about something like an assault, normally you would wait until after the criminal case, because if the person is criminally convicted, your civil case is very easy to win.
Okay,
you say, look,
that was going to be my question.
If you have a higher burden of proof in the criminal case, unless what you're trying to do is get a little money out of somebody
who's not going to get criminally convicted because it didn't really happen.
Right. So now you want to push the civil suit faster,
quicker, because you don't have the confidence that the criminal suit will resolve in a way that will help your civil suit.
Ladies, I absolutely love hearing everything you have to say about this. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You were excellent. Coming up next, the hottest Hollywood fitness craze with a celebrity trainer from New York City. Stay tuned. Good luck, ladies.